breakaway doing its utmost to withstand the return of the peloton.
Okay guys, this has got transition stage written all over it. With only one classified climb on the menu, the sprinters' teams won't want to pass up on the opportunity. It's maybe best to just tuck yourself in today.
The peloton has just joined up with a breakaway. The peloton has caught up. 1.5 minutes for the breakaway. It might just work. The time gap between the peloton and the breakaway is decreasing.
When you have a very good sprinter in the team, it makes sense to stick with a breakaway in order to favor a mass sprint and vie for the stage win. Unless, of course, a rider from the team is present in the breakaway.
The riders are approaching the feed zone.
The lead group is too large to work well together. It may explode into several people. The peloton is 3 kilometers from the intermediate sprint.
The breakaway's over. Start all over again.
The gap is increasing. We don't need to ride for now. There's nobody dangerous for us in the breakaway. The first riders are 2 kilometers from the climb.
Looks like the breakaway still has some gas left. It's still able to widen the gap.
The peloton is riding hard. Stay well placed.
Last time check with the breakaway. 1 minute. Only 15 kilometers left for the lead riders. "30 seconds lead for the head of the race.
During the sprint, try to stick to the wheel in front for as long as possible to take advantage of the slipstream. Just 5 more kilometers. Get ready to sprint. We must win to secure the green jersey.
Okay, we'll consume a feed.
The pieces are moving into place for the mass sprint. Niceties are exchanged as everybody wants to be on the right wheel.
Go, 1 kilometer. You've got to give everything in the sprint. Watch out. You're not going to be able to attack for much longer.
He is in sparkling form, and you can clap him loudly. Here is the yellow jersey of this Tour de France. It is a moment that he should not forget and which marks his career. Come on, let's applaud him once more. We can say that everything is going well for him at the moment. Here is the green jersey of this Tour de France. It is a moment that he should not forget and which marks his career. Come on, let's applaud him once more. He will climb onto the podium to receive his jersey and a kiss from the hostess. Here is the polka dot jersey of this Tour de France. It is a moment that he should not...
Well done to you all. We retain the yellow jersey. It's a perfect day.
Fight for victory.
Okay, I'll protect him.
The breakaway riders are increasing the gap. They are not dangerous for the overall standings. We can let them go. The peloton is riding hard. Stay well placed. The breakaway riders are increasing the gap. They are not dangerous for the overall standings. We can let them go. This stage is fairly uneventful. If you think that nothing special is going to happen, you can advance the clock to the closing kilometers. The gap is widening. No need to panic, guys. There's nobody dangerous for the overall standings.
The breakaway is losing its lead. It's going to be difficult for them. The front of the race has now covered a little more than 100 kilometres. And the road will now take on a more irregular look, with notably the first classified climb of the day.
The peloton is riding hard. Stay well placed.
The breakaway is losing its lead. It's going to be difficult for them. Before taking on the next climb, the riders will pass through Saint-Léonard-de-Noblat, the adopted home of the late lamented and very popular Raymond Poulidor.
The gap is widening. No need to panic, guys. There's nobody dangerous for the overall standings.
The front of the race is 10 kilometres from the intermediate sprint. The breakaway is losing its lead. It's going to be difficult for them.
The gap is growing. Don't worry. They're not well placed in the overall standings.
The next difficulty is listed as a Category 4. The head of the race has 1.5 minutes lead on the peloton.
Now, guys, you've got to dig deep in order to stay up front. After the Croix du Pay, it's the Souk Omé. It's very steep, and it's a minor road. You'll have to be well positioned. The breakaway is unlikely to go all the way, guys. Watch out for counter moves.
The riders are at the foot of the Souk Omé, a real 4-kilometre wall where the slope is often over and over and over.
Right, lads. The Souk Omé is the last classified climb, but you can't relax. The final 20 kilometres aren't going to be easy because there's plenty of areas where the road climbs. It could prove painful. Come on, guys. King of the Mountain sprint in 2 kilometres for the breakaway group. Breakaway will, no doubt, go all the way, lads. But watch out for attacks in the closing kilometres. Go, guys. You've got to keep up the rhythm to defend the yellow jersey. You almost look out of strength. Look after yourself if you want to avoid a blow-up. Okay, I'll wait for you.
Fifth. 15 kilometres from the finish for the group at the front.
kilometers from the finish for the head of the race. They can believe it's possible if they still have something in the tank for the final short climb. He's got his teammates riding because in front there's a rider who's dangerous to him in the overall standings. The peloton is riding hard. Stay well placed.
Only 5 kilometers left for the head of the race.
Okay, I'm coming to protect you. Okay, I'll consume a feed. He's being left behind. It's good news for the overall standings. Soon have no more energy for an attack.
Say that everything is going well for him at the moment. Here is the yellow jersey of this Tour de France. He will be able to hang this jersey in his trophy room. Let's hope for him that he can add more. We can say that everything is going well for him at the moment. Here is the clean jersey of this Tour de France. Let's hope for his sake that things go as well in the future. But for now, he can relish the moment. He is in sparkling form, and you can clap him loudly. Here is the polka dot jersey of this Tour de France. Let's hope for his sake that things go as well in the future. But for now, he can relish the moment.
With roads that go up and down all day, for a total of more than 4,400 meters of vertical gain And the final 3 kilometres on a slope that averages out at over 11%, nobody can afford an off day. Otherwise, it's goodbye to the GC.
We've got enough of a points lead for the polka dot jersey. There's no way we can lose it today. Keep it up. It's looking good. You've got more than a minute's lead on the peloton.
The breakaway can't widen the gap.
The peloton is riding hard. Stay well placed. I reckon it's walled up behind. Nobody seems to want to launch the chase.
It's classified as a first category. There will be 10 extra points to be picked up towards the polka dot jersey for the first one over the top.
The counter-attacking group can't be allowed to merge. Otherwise, there'll be too many of you and the peloton will continue to ride hard. You should perhaps be waiting for the group behind. It will be easier if there are several of you. Excellent. You increase your lead on the overall climber standings.
A new difficulty to be climbed for men at the front, the Col de Guerry. There will be 5, 3, 2 and 1 points to be scored at the top.
You must constantly try to shelter from the wind, so as not to consume energy. This is what allows a rider to edge clear at the end of the race. Okay, I'll protect him.
The breakaway is increasing its lead over the yellow jersey, but there's no worry as it contains no big guns for the overall standings.
Excellent. You increase your lead on the overall climber standings. will consume a feed. There's not a lot going on. If this was a video game, I'd advance the clock to the last difficulty. You're coming up to the intermediate sprint. Keep your eyes open.
It's a third category climb that now waits the riders. 2 points will be awarded to the first rider to the top.
The end of the stage is not far off. Stay awake. It will soon start to move in the peloton.
The race will soon enter its phase with the Col de Neron Puy-Marie sequence of climbs. Before that, however, there'll be a short third category King of the Mountains difficulty to be
The peloton is riding hard. Stay well placed.
Continuez comme ça.
The race is now entering its final chapter. There are less than 20 kilometers to go for those at the head of the race.
I don't know if it's a bluff, but the breakaway looks to be increasing the pace at the front of the race.
The advance of the lead group should be enough to carry it to the end. There will be time bonuses at the top of the climb. 8, 5 and 2 seconds for the general classification.
Continuez comme ça. Allez les gars, courage.
Only 10 kilometers to go and one ascent to be climbed. Puy-Marie. From the Col de Neron, it's a 5-kilometer climb. However, the slopes in the second half average out at around 12%. So the riders will be confronted by a real wall on their way to the finishing line.
Only 5 kilometers left for the race leaders.
Another 3 kilometers and it's the finishing line. The stage leader is alone up front.
Continuez comme ça, les gars.
The first riders are onto the steepest part of the slope. It won't get any easier from here.
Okay, I'll wait for him.
Bravo, courage, on continue.
Bravo, les gars. Allez, les gars.
Allez, les gars, courage. Allez, les gars, courage. Allez, les gars, courage.
There's only 1 kilometer to go for the man at the front. We shall witness a solo victory.
The breakaway is 1 kilometer from the finishing line. Okay, I'll consume a speed. They're riding hard behind. This isn't the moment to relax. Okay, I'm coming to protect you.
Allez, les gars, courage. Allez, les gars. Courage. Allez, courage, les gars. Allez, plus vite.
Allez, courage, les gars.
Bravo, les gars, c'est bien. Continuez comme ça. Bravo, les gars. Allez, les gars. Courage.
You're into the big percentages. Pace yourself as best you can. Keep going.
Allez, go, go, go.
Congratulations to him. He managed to maneuver perfectly to snatch this victory. He can savor this moment. He tops the standings and will receive the traditional honor. Here is the yellow jersey of this Tour de France. It is a moment that he should not forget and which marks his career. Come on, let's applaud him once more. He will climb onto the podium to receive his jersey and a kiss from the hostess. Here is the green jersey of this Tour de France. It is a moment that he should not forget and which marks his career. Come on, let's applaud him once more. He's amongst the leading riders of this year. Here is the polka dot jersey of this Tour de France. He should not forget and which marks his career. Come on, let's applaud him once more.
Perfect day.
Hello cycling fans everywhere. Even though today's stage is mostly flat, the closing kilometres through the streets of Lyon won't be to the liking of the sprinters. Given the free urban climbs that await them, it would be surprising if they asked their teammates to manage the gap with the breakaway. The Baroudeurs would seem to have a good chance of winning today.
When you have a very good sprinter in the team, it makes sense to stick with a breakaway in order to favour a mass sprint and vie for the stage win. Unless, of course, a rider from the team is present in the breakaway.
The breakaway's widening the gap, but there's nobody who's a threat to the overall standings. The riders up front are widening the gap, but they're not dangerous. The time gap between the peloton and the breakaway is decreasing. The breakaway is widening the gap, but but there's nobody who's a threat to the overall standings. The riders are at the foot of the first major difficulty of the day, the Col du Béal. Given the layout of the stage, it shouldn't play a significant role despite the 12-kilometre climb. Classified as second category, the ascent earns 5 points for the first rider, 3 points for the second, 2 points for the third, and 1 point for the fourth.
The peloton is riding hard. Stay well placed.
The next climb is classified as third category. There will be 2 and 1 point available towards the polka dot jersey.
The gap is increasing. We don't need to ride for now. There's nobody dangerous for us in the brace,
Time difference between the peloton and the breakaway is steady. The race leaders are into the feed zone.
The breakaway is upping the tempo at the head of the race. It doesn't intend to be caught up that easily. The head of the race is 3 kilometers from the intermediate sprint. Here's the winner of the intermediate sprint.
Allez les gars!
Allez les gars, on continue comme ça.
C'est bien.
Watch out! You're not going to be able to attack for much longer.
Allez, plus vite! Lâchez rien, allez! Allez les gars!
Riders up front still have something left. They're upping the pace. To try to hold out till the end.
Okay, we'll consume a feed.
Looks like the breakaway still has some gas left. It's still able to widen the gap.
The gap is decreasing, guys. The peloton should be there for the stage win.
The riders are coming into the Lyon city area. Although there are 2 difficulties that count towards the mountains classification, this stage will be decided by 3 climbs that lie inside the closing kilometers. There's only the Côte de la Croix-Rousse to be climbed for the man to the front. It's looking good for him.
The peloton is riding hard. Stay well placed. Guys, at the top of the climb, the road doesn't drop down right away to the finish. There's 2 kilometers of flat, a short drop, and then a long 2 kilometers straight to the line. If you continue at this rate, you'll explode.
Okay, I'll follow any attack.
Go, guys. You've got to keep up the rhythm to defend the yellow jersey.
Standings and will receive the traditional honor. Here is the yellow jersey of this Tour de France. Let's hope for his sake that things go as well in the future. But for now, he can relish the moment. He will climb onto the podium to receive his jersey and a kiss from the hostess. Here is the green jersey of this Tour de France. Let's hope for his sake that things go as well in the future. But for now, he can relish the moment. He's amongst the leading riders of this year. Here is the polka dot jersey of this Tour de France.